like to say that she did this without a reasonable doubt is so absurd to me. Even though I don't like her that much. So, Michael Proctor, not shockingly, was fired from his position at the Canton Police. It was announced on March 19th of 2025.
Because of, nice. Oh, recently.
Yeah.
Because of this incident?
Yeah.
Like due to?
Okay, well, two, and I will tell you the other one.
Oh,
so
no.
he had been on unpaid suspension for quite some time.
That's a good move.
Yeah. So he was terminated for his horrific investigation of the Karen Reid case.
Do we have that here?
Well. What?
Suspension with pay? Do we have that here for us?
Why? Do you want me to suspend you?
I don't know.
Listen to the shit you've said. Like,
Maybe.
What would it take?
You a-hole.
Yeah.
Did I do it?
You just start behaving like the chief of police in New Jersey.
Stabbing you in your penis.
I hate it when that happens. So, yeah, he was terminated for this case as well as I think that they were just like, okay, give us something else too.
Yeah.
Like, he had been apparently drinking with a Canton police officer while on duty.
Yeah, I can see that. But I mean, if we're firing every cop for drinking on duty, at least from my sheet of paper here.
So naturally, there have been many, 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 many experts. And don't worry, I know you're like, every time I talk about the trial, I see your eyes glaze over a little bit.
I try to, when you say experts, to think sexperts, but it never pans out. You never bring up a sexpert.
No, you're right, I don't.
Wow.
And you know what? That's on me. Next,
I agree.
I'm going to try next time to do better. So it's going to be a weird case next time, guys. So during the trial, naturally, there have been many experts who have testified both for the Commonwealth and for the defense. Oh, Matt, you're going to love this. And I love it so much. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you didn't watch it because it is boring for the most part, but I did post it to our Patreon Facebook group. This is the testimony of one Shannon Burgess. He is so first of all, he works for a company called Aperture. He was an expert in analyzing data from vehicles and electronics.
Wow.
His testimony,
Nerd alert.
his testimony makes me want to punch myself in the face repeatedly.
Awesome.
It was so boring, but when the defense got up there, first of all, okay, it was so many hours. I feel like he was up there for the entire time I've had kids.
And what is he's a data analyst for cars?
Yeah, so he was like boringly talking about how the Lexus, like essentially what the Lexus's black box is. Mm-hmm. It records the data from the car and da-da-da-da. And he's talking about like, it's not actually a black box. It's a bunch of different things. And I have to take the chip off of it. And I was
like, oh my God, blah, 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 blah. Shannon? Can we just talk about how your name is Shannon?
With one N, though. It's super masculine. It was double N. It would be weird.
Have you ever met a guy named Lindsay? Shannon?
So he's up there boring the skin off of my body for such a long time. But then the defense gets up there, and again, they ask him a bajillion questions that are snorefest. But then, so Alan Jackson is one of the defense attorneys.
Nice.
And he was like, just
I was also
singing
a country music star.
No, but so he goes up and he hands him a piece of paper, and he said, can we put this document into the court and da-da-da. And then he goes, what is that, sir? And he goes, it's my CV, which is a resume.
Oh, okay.
And so he's looking at it and he starts pointing out all of these things. And he says, well, it says here that you got your, it's like Bachelor of Mathematics Science. It's a whole thing. It's a big degree. Mm-hmm. And he goes, it says that you got it at the University of Alabama, Birmingham.
Birmingham. Yeah.
You're so smart.
Thank you.
And the guy's like, yeah, that's exactly what it says. And he goes, are you aware that school does not offer that degree? And the guy, okay, first of all, he's white. I'm white. I understand when you get for me personally, I can't speak for you, but when I get so embarrassed, I get like perfectly defined blotches of red all over my body.
Yeah.
This man instantly, you could have traced the red with a pen. And he was like, yeah, I am aware of that. And da-da-da. And he's like, well, it says here, like you went from 2015 to 2016, you got this degree. So like you didn't do that. And he was like, no. And then he goes on to, he's like talking about the Aperture website. And he's like, and they have like, I guess for all of their professionals, they have like a bio page that lists all of their credentials. And it has links to his LinkedIn and to his CV. And these both are through Aperture, though, so it's not his own personal stuff.
Yeah.
They also say that he has these degrees and da-da-da-da. And then he presents him with his own personal LinkedIn account as well. And his own personal account says that he also has... there's not an aspect of this man's like professional career that he has not written, that he has this. And so he's like, but you don't in fact have that. He goes, you don't in fact have any bachelor's degree, do you? And he's like, with his dumb red face. And he's probably like, in his eyes, he's probably like, wah, 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 wah. And he was like, no. And he's like, what is the highest form of education that you have? He's like, an associate's degree. And then he's like, so you're not technically like qualified to be. And the guy's like, his face started sweating. And the defense, it's like, yeah, like, what did you think was going to happen? Like, what did you think getting up on that stand? Like, their whole job is just to discredit you.
Exactly.
You fucking numbnuts.
And also, the defense really should be looking over that.
Well, it was the defense that discredited him. It was he was a Commonwealth.
Oh, really? Oh my God.
Yeah.
And so, the prosecutor like picked him and didn't
check his credentials.
It seems like an odd witness choice for the state.
Yeah, they were like, so will you do it? They're like, how much will you do it for?
What are you doing on Tuesday? You got class? No, I'm good. I can make it.
There was another thing too, though, that he had said in some other document that he had started getting his bachelor's in 2007. And he's like, so what's going on like with that? Because it says that like you were in process of getting that. And he's like, oh yeah, you know, like life and work and stuff kind of got in the way. Like it's been, he's like, so you've been trying to get that for like 17 years now. And he's like, that's a really long time.
Have you seen the movie Van Wilder? You are becoming Van Wilder.
Like the Temu version. Trust me.
Do you know who that movie is based off of?
No.
It's your boyfriend's buddy, Bert Kreischer.
Oh, Tom Segurs.
Yeah. There was an article written about Bert Kreischer back in, I say, the 90s about this kid in college who's been there forever and like runs the school.
Just always had his big belly hanging out with no shirt on ever.
Yeah. And that article became the screenplay for Van Wilder.
I had no clue. But you know what? Now that you mention it, Bert and Ryan Reynolds look identical.
Now that I mention it, you know what? Yeah, I thought from waist down for sure, but now waist up, good call.
You know what? Well cast.
I will say that. Who. If they get in a fight, I would know which one to shoot.
No, of course not. So both sides had experts come in. Weirdly, they did. So both sides had experts came in to recreate the accident, which isn't common apparently. It's not like and to me it really seemed like super elementary.
Oh yeah, with like models and stuff.
Well,
like,
the Commonwealth got like the actual dude who was the expert. He's like, I wore the same pants as John, and I wore the same shirt as John, and like at the waterfall, the distributors that give because remember John got out of Karen's truck with a rocks glass. Remember her triple soda?
Yeah.
And so he's like, the distributors that make their glass, I called them and I got like the actual rock glass. So like I was like literally doing everything exactly the same as John.
Oh boy.
And then it shows and then he's like, and then I put grease paint on the light that got damaged, and then it shows him like he's standing there and then he like rolls across the light and he's like, and as you can see, I got paint right here, which is exactly where John's injuries were. But it's like he leaned into the SUV. Like no one who's actually getting hit is leaning into the fucking SUV.
Right. You're get the hell out of here.
It was so dumb to watch that I couldn't even like believe what I was seeing. And then the defense, they did one too, and it was a dummy that they had like hung up by a harness and they backed the car in. But one witness that did come up showed, so they're like, first of all, John, x-rays, there's no fractures, there's no, like even hairline fractures, nothing. There's nothing wrong with his bones. It's all to his skin. And then they showed
that's odd.
A picture of a dead person who had actually been hit at 25 miles per hour, exact same speed, everything. And it showed exactly what their injuries were. And it was like broken bones galore. And like, then it showed the vehicle, and the damage to the vehicle was much more extensive than what was done to Karen's car. Like it was a lot of like, these are one thing is not like the other kind of thing. And that one had some weight. It wasn't just people rolling on cars and paint.
I'm going to get hit.
Oh, no. Literally. So, it was all very weird, except for that one. That one made sense. It was like John's clothes and the rock glass and stuff. I was like, what the fuck difference would it make? Like, honest to God, if you had a Tim Hortons cup in your hand, do you think that's like, they're like, well, the weight.
And then the other's like, what was in your hand? Was it a rocks glass? No. What was it for the record? Tim Hortons glass? You're done.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you get a rocks glass from Applebee's? That is not what we're talking about here, you loser.
Are you an asshole?
And imagine and that's the Commonwealth's witness. This guy's out there fucking, first of all, he bought a Lexus, like taxpayers' dollars. And then he's out there fucking getting the same rocks glass from the distributors, but they couldn't even check to make sure this other fucking ding dong had an actual degree.
That's right.
So they're like, listen, we want nothing if we don't want accuracy. So make sure you get that rocks glass. Same year. Do they have a model on the glass?
Model number.
But this guy over here, he's just fucking bouncing around.
Yeah. God forbid you go into the bar and ask to borrow a cup.
That's exactly right. Can I even give you a fucking few dollars for a cup?
Yeah. I need the same clothes. No, you don't. Wear white. If you want to show the grease, wear white jumpsuit, painter suit, asshole.
We actually don't even care if you show up fucking butt ass naked.
That's right.
Just do what you got to do.
I call you distributors. For what? A cup. Go to the fucking... How the hell did you find a distributor?
John literally walked out with one.
Yeah, I'm an investigator.
But to me, it seems like they're very skewed in what they're finding important.
Yeah, it's okay. What's the... you got an update on the case? Yeah, Cap, listen, I've tracked the distributor down to a warehouse in Hoboken, but we're going to need a warrant to grab the glass. All right, good work.
Okay, can I call you out without you getting mad at me?
Yeah.
So, we are doing...
no.
We're trying to do a watch party for the Poop Cruise on Netflix because we covered it on the podcast, and then we're trying to... And you're like, we've got big plans. Okay, so I've figured it out. We're going to get earphones, and then that way we'll leave one out so we can talk to each other and we'll watch it. And I was like, okay, but I think we should figure out the bigger details first. And you were like, yeah, no, I think that's it. We got to figure it out. I'm like, okay, but how do we stream it on YouTube? You're like, oh yeah, that's a way bigger issue. I don't know how to do that.
Like, what about big picture? I'm like, did you not read? Did you see the above text? See above.
Hey.
As per my previous text, that was big picture. What about the whole video stream?
You're like, hey, Leaky Poo Lynn, as you're in my phone.
Listen,
Stop messaging me about this
Get
shit.
off my case.
Figured out the fucking earpods. Okay?
Stop bothering. I'm big picture over here, okay?
I'm like, oh, God bless him. But yeah, so this whole thing was, it's really just, and to me, before I really got into watching court trials, I was always like, experts know, right? Experts are experts.
Same.
And now it's just like,
you get an expert.
You can pay an expert.
Doug Heffernan from King of Queens was an expert on King of Queens.
I literally could be called as an expert for a Hanson thing. They would be like, well.
Yeah. Expert, it's all the same.
Were you going to say crepe?
No.
It's so mean.
Oh, never.
So, yeah, that whole thing happened. An expert for the defense, a forensic pathologist.
Okay, that sounds good.
As long as she has it. No, she does.
Yeah, that's right. What school did you go to?
Her name is Elizabeth LaPrasada. She basically got up and said that if John had been hit by a car and was thrown onto the Albert's front lawn, as that's what the Commonwealth, that's her case, right? Mm-hmm. She's like, it would not have caused that huge fracture and laceration in the back of his head because lawns are made of dirt. Mm. And dirt's not as hard as something that would, break someone's head into.
Right.
So that was her thing. She was like, that he did not sustain that injury on a lawn. But the Commonwealth, when they got up and they asked her, okay, so his name's Hank Brennan, he defended Whitey Bulger.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Nice. Mafia.
So he got up and he asks her, he's like, well, did you assess the speed of the vehicle that it would need to be going in order to cause an injury like that? And she was like, she literally just point blank says to him, I didn't need to assess anything because a car didn't hit him. And then, yeah, it was
really?
Yeah. She was like, it didn't happen. So why am I assessing a certain speed? You know what? If it was 25 kilometers, 25 miles, if it was 60 miles.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. So.
And this was end of January.
That it happened.
So because I was thinking, well, ground could have been frozen. But no, it hasn't even started yet.
Right, exactly. And then another witness came up. Dr. Rentschler, another one that was so long and it was just 97% of boring.
It's like, we get it. You're a doctor. Something like that.
He did the demonstration with the defense where he used the dummy and all that kind of shit. It didn't land with me. I didn't really care. But Hank Brennan for the Commonwealth, he was so obnoxious and he's so aggressive that he gets up and like he's asking him like just these questions that are like, he has to answer them. He's like, in your expertise, have you ever seen?
In your expert opinion.
He's like, have you ever seen a piece of plastic that's hit in the same way and it breaks different ways? And this is like his way of saying that like.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, exactly. He says, he's like, in your expertise, have you ever seen multiple pedestrians get hit by the same vehicle that's doing the same speed and it's the same vehicle and they have different injuries? And this guy's like, I mean, yeah, but it's all, he's like, I can't just give you like a yes or no. That's like how it happens. He's like, it's all about details and like, like it's not something that I can just sit up here and vaguely talk about. So fuck that guy. Yeah. And then Dr. Marie Russell gets up. And now Dr. Marie Russell is a dog and animal bite specialist. Okay. She's a doctor. She's written peer-approved papers on the topic. And she's accredited in this industry.
Really?
Well, she's a doctor. So.
Oh, okay.
And she's kind of on my side.
Oh, my bad.
Ever heard of it?
Ever heard of it? No. Hater.
So she gets up there and she says, judging by the injuries on John's arm, which I will show you, she's like, these are not caused by a taillight. She's like, by the parallel lines and the puncture wounds, like as if teeth had sunk in and then dragged along or nails had. And I will, you know what? Actually,
the dog.
The dog that they rehomed.
The old dog.
Like a few months later, right?
Yeah.
So I just want you to see this because it is very important that you see these because I showed it to my husband last and he loves to discredit things that I'm saying.
Yeah.
And he was like, that's not caused by a taillight.
What?
So John O'Keefe's arm. Oh, wow. I wrote Aram.
Oh.
My computer's like, do you even know what you're talking about?
Oh.
So
are you ready to put your Arams up? This is a stick up.
So, yeah. So this woman, she gets up there and she's like, this is without question animal injuries. She's like, and then, it starts to make a little bit more sense why they're rehoming their family pet after.
Yeah.
So I want to get a big one.
You're like, it's just animal aggression against the neighbor's dog.
Yeah. Which I'm moving out of my house of like 1,000 years anyway. So what the fuck does that even matter?
Yeah.
It's like literally when I'm not in the middle of a recording, I can pull this up in 0.7 seconds.
And now that you are
that I'm in the middle of a recording, it's like
a billion years.
Turn off safe search.
What's Karen Reed like look like? Like if like a famous like what famous person would she look like?
That's a great question, Matt.
I'm trying to ask if she's attractive, but I don't want to overtly say it.
I think she is pretty.
Oh.
Yes. Right. You know what? Since we're just Googling things, I will show you a picture of her in 1 second here.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I could do it on my phone. You got a lot going on over there.
It's okay. What else do we got going on?
Yeah, that's true.
So the first one is while he was in the hospital and still, they were still fighting to save him. But then the bottom one is the injuries after.
Oh, so he...
And
oh my God.
So the Commonwealth is...
That, they say that is a taillight?
A taillight.
Well, like...
The taillight with no biological evidence on it, though, by the way.
What like... I don't understand. Would you, like, if you elbowed a window, you would get that, I think. Wouldn't you?
There's been so many different things that they've said, like maybe when it happened and like he fell on the ground with the shards of plastic, he started rolling around in it.
Yeah.
Don't be crazy, Matt. He could have just...
rolled around in the shards?
Yeah.
Maybe he had a seizure.
But like, you can see the ones right by his elbow, like the 3.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that looks very much like it would have been a dog bite.
Oh, that does look like a dog bite.
And then paired with the fact that poor Chloe had to go live in Vermont.
Oh, Vermont. Look like maple syrup.
Yeah, well, I
Bernie
do.
Sanders.
Okay, and then I just want to show you quickly, Karen, because, yeah, she's pretty. She's a babe, but she's got a weird Fall River accent,
Yeah, that's right.
as I always say.
And a leaky buttle. Just use a little toilet paper up there.
You know what? Actually, it's very good that I'm Googling Karen Reid right now because I would love to see if there's an update in the verdict.